Marketing isn't chaos. It looks chaotic because most B2B teams ignore the laws it runs on. Just like the universe has rules, so does marketing. And when you break them, your results fall apart. The universe runs on a handful of laws: gravity, motion, light. You don't have to understand them, but you can't escape them. Break the rules and the system collapses. Marketing often works the same way. There are 4 laws every successful B2B brand follows. And these 4 laws most small B2B teams accidentally break all the time, which is why their marketing feels invisible, random. It's why their posts get ignored. It's why their pipeline dries up. And it's why ads feel risky or expensive, when in reality they're just running their marketing campaigns without structure. Once you understand these laws, your marketing stops feeling random. It becomes predictable. It becomes repeatable. It becomes engineering, not guesswork. Forgive me for the dramatic intro, but some of the topics I'm going to cover in this video are quite important, especially if you're a small, boring or unsexy B2B business who needs more leads more often. So let's break down these 4 laws, what they actually mean and how you can apply it to your business in the next 30 days. The first marketing law is the law of attention. And that attention is finite. Your customers have busy lives, jobs to do, endless to-do lists, teams to manage, pointless meetings to attend. They're not starting every day scrolling on LinkedIn thinking, I really wish I could desperately see an advert about industrial maintenance today. For a lot of you niche B2B marketers and business owners, the biggest enemy might not be a competitor. It's probably indifference. Your first job isn't even to start selling them on what you do. It's earning their attention. You need to say something that cuts through and stands out from the crowd. If you're an IT service provider in Bristol, don't talk about all the other things that every other single IT service provider is talking about. If you're an industrial machinery supplier, don't just waffle on about your new features and specs. Talk about the problems they are facing, that your unique specific customer is having issues with, is tearing their brains out and struggles with day to day and wants help solving. Think about what your customer deeply cares about. Think about what's going to grab their attention and not fade into the background. Because if you don't grab their attention at the very first point, nothing else matters. Optimizing your funnel, redoing your landing pages, having the best process from once someone books in to actually getting them on the call and closing them. None of that matters if you don't grab their attention in the first place. The key to grabbing people's attention in a busy market where, again, there's probably other people trying to reach them, is stand out and break the other rules. Break the rules that are common in your industry and the types of messaging that dozens of other suppliers and products are showing to them every day that are boring. Be the one that stands out and earns their attention from the very first scroll, from the very first second of the video. If you focus on grabbing your specific dream customer's attention, usually with the problems they're facing, all the rest of that becomes so much easier. Another marketing law is the law of reach and frequency. What you've got to understand is that most people forget most of what they see every day. Can you remember 5 adverts that you've already seen today? Probably not. And this is even more the case in niche B2B services and products. Your buyers will probably forget most things they see. One impression and one post doesn't create demand. They see one offer or one case study. That doesn't create trust with your business. Small B2B businesses can grow really fast if they concentrate on increasing the reach and frequency of their messaging to a very niche small audience, making sure you're reaching them often across loads of different touch points. This is where ads on things like LinkedIn become really powerful, because you can manipulate and engineer that reach and frequency all the time, every day, 24/7. If you're a small B2B SaaS startup, your organic content, if you're lucky, reaches maybe 5% of your followers. And the problem with that is, even if it's reaching more than that, your followers probably aren't the people buying from you either. They're people trying to sell to you. They're your colleagues, they're your ex-colleagues, they're your mates, they're your family. They probably aren't the right type of people that you want to be showing this content to. Building up a follower base of people that you actually want to speak to and can actually buy your product can take a lot of time and needs a lot of luck as well. Using advertising to make sure and ensure that you're reaching your target audience accelerates that process. You control the reach and the frequency, and you're the business that's going to be in their head and in their top of mind when they come to make the decision and when budget becomes available. You need repeated exposure to the stakeholders that you want to sell to, not one single viral post that they're going to forget about in 2 days' time. What you need to remember is frequency builds familiarity. And if you're selling a niche B2B product or service, familiarity is what helps people take the risk to actually get in touch with you and buy your product or service. There's always exceptions to rules, right? If you're working on Google search ads, you might not need to have this repeated exposure and repeated frequency if the search ads you're bidding on are emergency based. Things like cybersecurity hacks or commercial heating going down. A lot of people are going to be searching those emergencies on Google, and then intent-based searches replace the need for frequency. The caveat to that is the most lucrative of these searches are an arms race between the people with the biggest budgets for expensive cost per clicks. Another marketing law is the law of proof. People don't necessarily trust you when you say you're the best. They need proof. They need evidence. It's easy to say you're industry leading, but it's better off to show them. It's better to talk through a 1-minute story of how you helped someone exactly like them in their position 6 to 12 months ago, and here's the results they achieved after working with you. People's brains are weird. They remember stories and they remember specific numbers and results. You don't need dramatic results. You need relevant ones to the specific audience you're selling to. These can be simple screenshots of emails, screenshots of results, before and after transformations, actually showing the work you're doing out in the wild and the results it's getting for your customers time and time again. How you took someone like them from A to B and using specific numbers in that transformation story. For example, an industrial manufacturer saying they reduced downtime by 18% for a recent UK client is a lot more powerful than saying they've been award-winning over the past 30 years. And when it comes to important decisions where they've got to convince their bosses or peers, if you're the one that shows the most proof and validity behind what you achieve for other people just like them, you're more likely to win their business. And this law of marketing is probably the most ignored one in B2B. It's the law of emotion. Your buyers probably don't wake up excited to change suppliers. It's stress, it's ball ache, it's admin. It's fear of being blamed, it's pressure on them, but it's also relief when that problem is gone and solved. Logic is something that people use to justify the decision afterwards to people around them, but emotion is what was going to grab them in and convert them into being your customer. Basing some of your marketing messages on emotion builds connection and also gets them to actually act upon it. Even if your ICP is ultra technical, usually talking about the emotive pain points and the problems that can occur for them are a lot more effective as a message than just talking about technical specs. Focus on that human pain point that your product or service solves and make sure you're getting the proof behind it and how it solves it better than any other competitor on the market. If you actually implement these laws in your next marketing campaign, it will stop feeling chaotic, it will stop feeling random, you'll stop hoping that someone sees that post that you schedule for Tuesday morning and immediately gets in touch with you right off the bat. You need to start understanding why certain marketing campaigns work so you can reverse engineer and apply to your niche, boring, unsexy B2B business and watch your leads roll in and fatten up your pipeline. The best way to test and apply these laws is with smart, targeted advertising campaigns. If you want a free chat around what advertising platform is best for your boring B2B business, there'll be a link below where you can book in the call and we'll help set up all the right tracking, all the complete ad targeting. We'll help script and edit those ad campaigns for you and creatives to make sure you get more clients more often. And ultimately, it shouldn't feel complicated. It should feel simple. This is what I do for niche B2B companies across all sorts of industries. And if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Cheers. Bye.